Nation of Fit and Tan, welcome to day 51, and my apologies to you all. I forgot to post the day 50 video yesterday, so I know you were all scrambling to check it out and it wasn't there. But if you happen to be one of those people that was looking for that video, my apologies to you. I filmed it yesterday, I just didn't put it up. So it is up, so please check it out. I'm sure you probably know by now if you're watching this video. All right, let's get to a little bit more of your feedback. So this person writes, this is a comment somebody wrote me, increasing cardio training to lose weight faster, or if not getting the desired weight loss results. So the first thing I will say here is, just because I'm a stickler, we're talking fat loss results here, not weight loss results. Weight loss does not reflect fat loss per se. You can lose fat and not see a reflection of that in your body weight, right? So this is why we do the scans. We don't just weigh you in. So the first thing I would say here is, first, we have to look at what we're currently doing, okay? So we have to look at the diet. We have to make sure that we are consistent through all the days. If we see some inconsistencies or enough inconsistencies, first let's hammer those out. Let's also look at the exercise. Are you doing all your required cardio to the extent that I want you to? Are you getting in all the weight training sessions? How is that going? Are you consistent with those? So those are the first things I would look at. And then I would look at your non-exercise activity. How much are you seated? How much of the day do you spend not really moving around? Not doing a whole lot. This is really, really important, because being active isn't just about doing this challenge and making sure you're getting your 3 cardios and your weights. Yes, that's really, really important. But we've got to make sure that we are active throughout the day. So we've got to keep moving. Okay, we don't have to keep moving, but we've got to make sure that we get up and we do regular activity. And I always recommend these 10-minute walks. There's actually, just reminds me actually of a somewhat well-known bodybuilder and an entrepreneur who promotes these 10-minute walks post-meal, and there's a lot of data to suggest that's actually a really good idea. But the point is getting in these regular walks, these regular points of movement. Again, it doesn't have to be a super long period of time. Just getting up, doing regular whatever, even if it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes of quick walking, you can get in a good 600-700 steps. All right, but I usually like to say 10 minutes so we get a good 1,000 steps. And then doing this, a couple times a day, well, more than a couple times, let's say maybe 3 or 4 times per day. All of a sudden, we've got an extra 3,000 or 4,000 calories. And what does that look like? An extra 3,000 or 4,000 steps. And what does that look like calorie-wise? Usually every 10 minutes, depending on the pace that we're moving at, every 10 minutes or every minute, we can burn about, what did I work? I did this calculation today. Around, it's going to depend on the person, and again, the rate at which you're going at, but about 15 calories every minute. All right, so if you get 10 minutes in, did I do that right? Yeah, 15 calories per minute. You get 150 calories in 10 minutes, right? So can make a big difference. Okay, now that would be if you're moving at a decent pace. All right, it's a brisk walk. Okay, or thereabouts. Okay, 100 to 150 calories. All right, so that's where I would go before we start adding in things. We've got to go back and inspect the things that we're doing, right? We want to always be methodical. We don't want to just start throwing stuff. Like, we don't want to start, building more on the house, so to speak, before, looking at the foundation. All right, let's inspect the foundation. Let's make sure that that's solid and, set 100%. Okay, more feedback here. This person writes, all right, so this is under name something specific you can improve upon. 65 calories over daily on average last week, very close to macros. All right, so not bad. So maybe you want to set yourself a standard that's going to be even closer this week, but 65 calories on average being off is pretty good. Of course, calories are one thing and macros are another thing. We want to really pay attention to those macros. Get more casual movement in. Okay, so just as I said, more non-exercise activity, just more general movement. Absolutely. But again, what exactly are you going to do? What is it that you're going to be accountable to? So maybe you want to say, I'm going to get in 3 10-minute walks per day or whatever, 2 10-minute walks per day. Snack on vegetables like edamame or broccoli. Okay, yeah, I mean, you can go for some of these very low calorie foods. Edamame, I don't think is like super low calorie, but you can find some of these more low calorie foods. You could also watch my video on, if you haven't already, on ways to increase your fullness or satiation. So check out days 49 and 50, I think I just put it up. More veg, fruit, protein smoothies. Sure. I mean, vegetables and fruit, again, these are fairly, generally speaking, these are, for the most part, calorie-sparse foods. They've got a lot of water in them, so they're going to fill you up a lot more. Also, we get lots of fiber. And to boot, this doesn't have anything to do really with feeling satiated, but we get more nutrition, right? We've got to think about nutrition, not just calories. Okay, how am I doing for time here? 6. Okay, let me see if I can do one more here. How to progress to a full pull-up, push-up, roll-out. Okay, so let's talk push-ups. Push-ups, here's one thing you can do. Work on achieving a certain amount of sets and reps. So let's just say, for sake of ease here, doing 4 sets of 8 at something that is reasonably challenging. And that something being, you can start doing a push-up, against a wall or maybe a desk. So imagine this is your body, right? This is your body. So if you go against the wall, the body's almost going to be completely upright or maybe just slightly over. If we go against a desk, right, we put our hands on the edge of the desk, we're going to be a little bit more bent over, right? The body's going to start to become more parallel to the floor. And then we go maybe from a desk to, I don't know, let's say maybe a pair of chairs or a couch. So now we're more bent over. And then maybe we go from that to, what's something in between here? I don't know, 2 cylinder blocks. And then eventually to the floor. So what we're doing here is we're making it increasingly harder over time. And we're working on moving from that 3 or 4 sets of 8, let's just say. That would be reasonable. From a wall to a desk, to a set of chairs or couch, to cylinder blocks, to the floor. All right, just working on. Now that's going to take time. Okay, depending on where you're at, that's going to take time. But again, being methodical and focusing on the process of working your way through that, you will eventually get there. Okay. All right, let's get the message of the day. On this day 51, focus on, well, very fitting here. Focus on the process and not the result. Focus on the process, not the result. If we focus on the process, then we will inevitably get to the result. But if we focus on the result, we might mess up, right? And a perfect example is just coming back to, I think I should do more cardio. No, let's look at the foundational pieces that I gave you, right? So again, let's go back to the process, the current process, and let's see what it is, if anything, that might need some tuning up. All right, so always focus on the process, not just think about the end result, okay? A strong process will lead to a very strong and sustained result, right? Okay, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and of course, I'll talk to you all tomorrow.